It's been a month since Brad died in a plane crash. Brad was my best friend since kindergarten. We had just decided to be more than friends when he had to leave on a trip to visit his cousins in Europe. He didn't want to go, but I insisted, saying he shouldn't miss the family reunion. How was I to know that the plane would crash?
Mabel, have you packed your stuff? We are leaving in 10 minutes.
Yes, Mom, I'm done. I've lost all interest in going out. So Mom's decided on a girls' trip to visit Gammy. Actually, Gammy is the only one I could bear to be around. I love my Gammy. We've arrived at Gammy's.
Maybe, my darling.
Gammy takes me up to her room.
I heard about Brad and I heard you took it exceptionally bad. Blaming yourself for his death.
I burst out crying. She opens one of her drawers and takes out some old pictures. She shows me a picture of an extremely handsome man and my gorgeous Gammy when she was 18. Is that Grandpa? He looks so different from his other pictures.
Because that's not your grandpa. That's Dave, my first love.
What?
I was 16 when we met. He was training to be a pilot and had come over to visit his aunt who was my neighbor. I was best friends with his cousin Becky. I loved Dave. He was tall, handsome, and a thorough gentleman.
But you married Grandpa, and I've seen you two. You were so happy. I could never have guessed.
Your grandpa was an amazing man. I could not have asked for a better man.
But you never mentioned Dave, not even once. Why?
Because he is your Uncle Toby's real father.
What?
Your grandpa was a good man and I didn't want to bring out old stories.
Uncle Toby's? Oh.
I'm telling you this because I want you to know that I know how you feel. I was there when Dave was called to the front lines. We were supposed to get married that fall, but he never made it back. Times were different then. An unwed mother was not something people looked upon kindly. I was so lost. Your grand aunt Becky was such a rock for me to lean on. She took me to the hospital for a checkup and that's where I met your grandpa. He was a young doctor fresh out of med school and he had such kind eyes. He held my hand and promised to help me. He kept that promise until his last dying breath. I know it sounds simple. I lost my one true love and found another. But it wasn't like that. I was so heartbroken on hearing about Dave's death that I lost my appetite. I couldn't sleep. I cried all day and night. I didn't step out of my room for weeks. I went to the hospital because Becky was scared the baby wasn't doing too well. It's the only reason I agreed to step out. It was Dave's baby and I knew he wouldn't want anything bad to happen to the baby.
Oh, Gammy.
Your grandpa helped me see that even though Dave was gone, I had to live on for the baby. He made me realize that Dave would want me to be happy. We hurt the ones we love when we live in pain. Think about it. If it was you instead of Brad, would you be happy seeing him how you are?
No, Gammy, no. I realized that it would hurt me to see Brad like this. I wouldn't want to see him sad and miserable. I know my mom and all my friends were trying to tell me the same thing, but somehow, hearing it from Gammy, she had been through worse. She knew what I was going through. I had seen her my entire life and would never have guessed that she'd been through so much at such a young age. But I've seen her be the most happiest woman I've ever known because she had learned to overcome so much. And I'm so proud to be her granddaughter.
Tell me you will be happy again. For Brad's sake.
Yes, Gammy, I will. I promise. Do you also, in life, blame yourself for things that go wrong? Guilt is a useless emotion if all you do with it is punish yourself. Bad things happen in life. You need to find ways to make peace with it and move on and do better. Expecting life to go exactly the way you want is setting yourself up for disappointment. Life is like a hero's journey. The obstacles, challenges in life, they are unavoidable because we are here to learn, to live, to grow, to evolve.